Hello everybody, my name is David Ego. You can call me Jones. I'm a product designer, and on this channel I talk about what I learn every week. And before that, and maybe after that, I talk about design, Figma, how to use, design, how to use, and everything in between that. Yeah, and in today's video, very interesting one, I'm going to be talking about my 48 hours case study walkthrough, right, and the UX case study presentation. Last week I made a video. The video is up to the left, don't click on it yet. The video was basically about me. This is the post of video, was talking about how I was able to make that design work. But the thing is, I got feedback from people that they were expecting me to walk through a process, and which would make sense to me on why I should walk through a process of how this design came to life. Now, that video talked about this video, the one you're currently looking at on your screen with the red background, looks works. It talks about how the design works in terms of what connects what and stuff relating to that. However, it doesn't really explain the process I took to come about that design, and that's what this video, this one with the blue background, it's going to be talking about my design walkthrough process and how I made the magic happen in Figma. So I'll just get right into it straight up now. So this is Control N. Control N is basically a learning management system for devs. And before I go on, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. It really helps and it gets things going here. Thank you. And here I will walk you through my process of how I design. I'm not saying this is the Ogmonge process you should all follow. I'm saying this is the process I took when designing this based on my knowledge from all the other not certified, yes, because I have been taking with Google. This is how I it's Google certification course, not the other way around. But this is it basically, right? So this is my design documentation. But before I get here, I would like to walk through the tasks at first. Let's understand what's happening. So this is the presentation about how the design works. Then this one I'm making now. So this one you are watching now is you watching the live presentation of the design itself. So the task at hand was an email. Dear David, your application for UI UX designer, internship part-time, remote has been shortlisted, and you have been given a task to submit in 48 hours. 48 hours, like I was way out of my head. I was like 48 hours. It was mad. I was like, I couldn't do this. But this is then the scenario. The scenario was you can take your time, pause the video and read this, but I wouldn't want to do that because I don't want to waste your time here. I want you to take your time, pause the video, read through the tasks. I will brief through it. A company trains undergrad students by providing projects, code-based to complete. The students are given a list of projects to choose one, and from the project selected, the students provide with the necessary documents and details, yada 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 yada. When you pause the video, you read it yourself, you understand. Then the task at hand was to make intuitive high-fidelity prototype using Figma from the above mentioned scenario, right? Project details have to be shown, and then present your thought process. This is exactly what I got from this is the email task, how I got it in my email. Then now, this is how I work. I get the question, I get the idea. For anybody I work with, they always tell you this. I get the idea, I get everything, and then I like to do a mini discovery session, trying to understand what it is for myself, right? And how do we make this work? So this is the email task. Now I'm going to tell you how I broke down the task to me assimilating it. Now the scenario, what I know so far from the scenario I was given above, is the keywords are marked in blue. Is that a company trains undergrads. Now keywords are marked in blue. I mark the keywords in blue because I would like to, when I go over it again as I'm designing, I want to see that these are the key points of what is basing my design. These are like the things, the building blocks around my design process about this design. Company trains undergrad students by providing code-based projects to the students. Code-based undergrads students are given a list of projects to choose from. Once project is selected, students are provided with all the needed documents and details to complete projects. Students are prompted as reminders to submit their tasks. Now, these keywords help me see from an overview point what I need to focus on, what are the important things from these tasks that stand out solving the problem, right? And that's what brought me to what's expected of me. Before we go there, right? Sorry, after the scenario, this section of the details of selectable projects by the students. Now, this is also part of requirements I was given to set out, okay, these are details of how the students would select the project that they are working on. So details of selecting every project. Projects will also be having a company name and logo, project description, skills needed to complete the project, expected outcome of the project. Now, remember, I have done my research, user research process after going through these stacks and breaking this down this way. And then this is what's expected of me. Now, I give myself this in all the projects, and I'm like, okay, what does this look like for me as a designer, as Egop David, as Drowns? What does this look like for me? And this is how this points out to my head. This helps me identify my role that I'm going to be playing in this project. Now, my role here is basically make an intuitive, high-fidelity prototype using Figma for desktops. Project details have to be shown to the user, help them make decisions, present your thought process and decision. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is my role here. I share my presentation. Then I'll be evaluated based on this, right? And what is success like for me? And that's a very key thing I have learned a lot of times is I should design and I should define what success is, because everybody should do that, because then you know when you have failed and when you have not. Some things may look like failure, but if you know what success is for you, it then could be clear to you your achievements of what you have been able to accomplish, right? And that helps a lot and helps my thought process, many other things, as well as design. So for me, success is completing these tasks, meeting the required deadline, documenting my process, making a video about it, design solutions on Figma, come up with a small information architecture about the project. Now, this is what success is for me. Completing all of this makes me feel, yeah, I have completed the project. Alright. However, some things are like small tasks in between it. So if I complete the task, if I meet all the listed requirements, part of the requirements is to make sure the design is usable, is accessible, like make sure design works well and solves the problem. So inevitably, I'm going to be designed to solve the user's problem, right? If I meet all the requirements, that's one of the things there. So that's it for this. Now, my design documentation. This is where all the eggs lie. This is the most important part of this, right? We're already 7 minutes down, and you can, if you skip to this point, you should watch this part. This is the most important part. My design documentation. First off, I like to start with breaking down tasks, which I already did, right, in the breaking down tasks section. Now, this is control N. I wasn't given any more information on where control N is located, what is it for, who is it for, how was it discovered. Those are questions I ideally ask during discovery session with any project I'm working on. Well, I couldn't have the opportunity to do that here, so I had to come up with something that fits into that scenario without breaking the problem statements. That was the problem statement what I was given in the task. And Control N is an edtech company. I love edtech products. I am a sucker for edtech products. That's my niche, by the way. So edtech company runs remotely based in Nigeria. It's a focus on teaching software development to undergrad students using an LMS system to manage the activities of tasks, feedback between the company and the students. Company here includes instructors, stakeholders, and the students, right? Now, my research, given the time I had for this research, it was not enough to carry out more details. Like 48 hours is not enough to do a lot of testing and research and doing a lot of background checks to know what to use, colors and everything. Even though I was not given, I had to come up with one. So this is why I came up with this very fast process after watching a ton of YouTube videos. User research was for 8 hours. I think it probably took more, but roughly 8 hours. So the goals for my research is, before I get started, I wrote down the goals to know what I'm going to achieve at the end of this research. What am I looking for? Why am I doing the research? Now, there were 4 goals, and 3 major ones and just one redundant one. Then the first one was to learn about potential users, who are there, demographics, experience level. This goals, experience level, what kind of users are there, industry tech savvy, why would they use the product, when would they use the product, how would they use the product, what are their needs and goals for using the product, what are their pain points while trying to learn with this company or trying to learn their skills of what they are currently trying to learn with the company, what are the pain points around it. Now, what are the current solutions available to solve the problem? Now, these are like subsections of that topic, of that number 2. Are they direct, indirect solutions? Are they free? how do they work, what's their user review, what are their users saying about other solutions, what problems do they face, what kind of digital tools, solutions, problems best fit this research or this idea, and what other out of the box ways to help solve this problem on a larger scale, not better scale, larger scale. So these are like the goals. This is what I plan on achieving based from this research, right? And the reason for having it this way is because I want to understand who are these people, what are their goals, what they actually want to do. So I know who I'm building for. I know how to build it directly. User research. Now, while doing this user research, this was the brief I made. I had limited time, so I could not afford interview with more than one person. And then I wrote my research, and with my best experience in this industry as a student and a mentor, I know what kind of users are mostly found around and the kind of pain points they already possess, like having to confirm from hypothesis. But I have to confirm my hypothesis even more. I interviewed one person. I already know what this is for. I did Zuri internship, I did HNG, dropped out and got kicked out in stage 2. But now, after doing all of this, I already have experience in this space of how LMS systems work. I work at, most of projects I do at Nkowoku. Nkowoku is a learning platform as well. So, experience in LMS system. When I was an intern at Tech Plus, I was working with an LMS system as well. So, I pretty much have experience working with LMS systems, all those complex systems that require too many, how tech products are. But I still had to confirm some hypothesis because this product was very much in a way unique. That I interviewed just one person. I did that to confirm my hypothesis, right? And this was the questions I asked. Now, these was questions I actually asked Exosia. Like, this is Exosia. This was the user persona for Exosia. And these was the questions I asked. I think I recorded it. I can't find the recording anymore. That's why but after I had the call with Exosia, I was a real call. Exosia is a real human being, by the way. It's not fictional. This is the questions I asked Exosia. Just to get a brief of who he is, how he works, everything in between, what he has done before, all these things he has been able to accomplish, what gets him going into the project. I asked an icebreaker. This is what kind of music does he listen to when working, right? And this was his SDC that showed them calm, Brimo, slow jam music generally. I wonder what kind of devs is this now. I was expecting something like Metalhead sounds, but actually that kind of a cool dev. So, well, this is basically it, right, for interviewing Exosia. This is the user persona I draw out from the questions, right? Demograph and everything about Exosia. I didn't put Exosia's age here, but his age is below 20 down, like it's a young 20 I didn't put his age here. I just put this is I'll not say who has this age. Whoever you guess has age, but this is the age bracket. Exosia falls into this age bracket, just a bit higher, but I didn't put that. Then this is occupation and everything. Then research goals and findings of after my research, this is what I've been able to synthesize out of it. Who Exosia is, the pain points, the questions I've been asking, everything falls into this space. Right? I did all of this to be able to get this was my goals, and after my goals, I want to know did I reach the goals I wanted to reach for this research? This is how it was, because this was guided me to the research on questions I was asking Exosia. Right? What are the current solutions for solving the problem? And that's what I asked him. Their solutions, and this is what I could get from it. Their synthesis I could get. Are they free? No, they are not. Yeah, man, really hard. Working LMS systems, you pay for them. Like you pay. Oh my god, you pay for them because it's not easy to come up with an LMS system. That's a learning management system. Can't all be free. So they're not the ones that they are not free. You get to pay. How do they work? The value for their money, features. What kind of digital tool solution solves the problem best? There's a Moodle. There's Open LMS, these are LMS systems, and a Zuri dashboard. I used Zuri dashboard when I was doing Zuri as a designer, and really, I like the way it worked. It was basic, it solved the problem, it was a very basic MVP that did well, right? So, and this is other features I like to add, and insightful keynotes from Exosia. Now, keynotes to me are words that he said that I felt emotionally was coming out from him as like a pain point directly, right? And that's why I labeled this blue, because they are like very insightful keynotes that I took out when like having a call with Exosia, and they are going to help build the pillars for the experience, user experience, helping him what kind of project team, his single room, a single person project, what kind of project he really wants to take, deadlines, submissions that will affect decision to pick a project, how many others had picked that project, right? What's the difficult level for picking a project? These are notes containing pinpoints and frustrations that will direct my design decisions on the project. So these are like Social's very like a very treasured pinpoints. Then mood boards. Yeah, so after this, I had to go look at mood boards that solve these problems based on the research, the synthesis I've gotten, in my persona. I went on like that's the process. That's for me. I've already gotten feedback of this is the solution, this is the problem, this is what's happening, right? This is someone that's facing the problem. Then I will go out to see solutions, possible solutions, mood boards outside that will help my design process, help me come up with drag and drops in Figma. And after looking at that, I developed user experience pillars. Now, I found this out on YouTube and I've seen that it has been useful. Experience pillars help guide me when I'm designing. So there's so much from the research, there's so much to know, and there's so much our brain can carry. We still get job. So we're thinking about a lot, right? And when designing, to help me focus on this is the problem, this is how we're solving it. User experience pillars are usually from 3 to 5 for me, and they help me guide my thought process. Convenient, detailed, and empowering. This platform must be easy to use and navigate around between projects. The platform must be detailed, it must be empowering, and it must provide the user with just enough, not more than, just enough features that solve the problem for selecting a project. Now, these are pillars that are going to stand, 3, and make sure that I will always remember them in my head when I'm dragging and dropping anything. Is this color solving anything on these pillars? Is this guiding me? And how that pillars work, and then proposed features. Now, these proposed features are things that came off from the research from Exosia. And one very interesting thing was seeing that Exosia could remind us to play songs while working better. And I got this feature to play reminders, right? Although I didn't get to implement it, I did have the time, honestly. I barely slept and had classes. But reminders to play songs to work better. I got this when I asked Exosia these questions down here on what kind of music does he listen to when working. And he was like, kind of music, yes, SDM. So I felt reminding him to play music while working will help him get more done. And that was why. It's because he likes to listen to music while working, and these are the kind of music he likes to listen to while working. So reminding him to listen to music while working is going to let him remain more on the system, like trust the process. Is like more of him trusting that the system is working for him, and he's getting more done rather than him working for the system. Now, that was the whole process and how I came about the user features and everything about it. This is an ideal process of this, like ideal way I come up with designs. I come up with all the drag and drops are doing Figma. There is always a mood board research that goes into it, the documentation about how it works, what is working, pillars and the amount of questions and answers I ask people, and that's it. Basically, that's my design process for the case study. You can watch how the design works and how everything connects and the design itself after this research in this video. This 48-hour UX video carries all of that. And I think that's it, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the next video that will be coming up tomorrow, next week, I am going on a sprint to learn more about design terms, business design terms as a designer, because I think I need to know enough of that. I know a little bit, but I need to know more because I feel I'm going to be playing. I know I'll be playing bigger roles in this design industry sooner or later. I need to understand what business terms are, and working in an edtech space, you need to really understand. Okay, how do instructors, how do schools come up with how do they collect charges from students, how do they pay, how does all those business terminologies work well, how do you translate that into working for an edtech product. So that's what I'm going to learn. So see you next week when I talk about design terms, business design terms every designer should know or they have learned. Yeah, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with this, share with others. Just share. See you guys next week. Thank you so much for sitting for this process. You can always watch this video again, pause it, awesome video. If you are still here, you're my fan. Yeah, I have to shout out to you. I have to shout out to you personally. So bye. Thank you. Bye.